Great. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Female Influencer Fireside Chat. This is always I said it yesterday too, it's my favorite part of the TechEd Day is to digest and discuss the content of the day with this lineup of amazing women. So thank you very much for joining. My name is Malin Lidén. I am Vice President of Marketing at SAP for Americas and APJ. And I'd just like to invite every one of you to introduce yourselves, where you come from, and why you're here.
Hi, I'm Heather Sinkwitz, and I work for a company called Mobile Mini, and I'm the BI manager there, also a speaker and an SAP mentor.
Hi, my name is Meredith Hassett. I am a product manager for developer experience, so developers.sap.com. I am here speaking as well.
My name is Camilla Delian, and I lead SAP's ISV partnership program, and I am here to host many of our partners who are here and welcome new ones.
Hi, I am Raquel Seville. I am from Jamaica. I am the CEO for BI Brains Caribbean. I am a SAP mentor, author, and speaker.
Hello, my name is Karen Tillotson. I've been a longtime SAP community, active in the SAP community. I'm an SAP mentor, and earlier did a session on building your brand and being an influencer in the SAP community.
Very good, well, thank you. So one of the reasons why we are doing is to surface cool stuff, because there is so much going on here and it's really difficult to find the highlights. And so I want to ask all of you, what was the coolest thing that you've discovered? And I can go first. I was sitting in Björn Görke's session, and a really cool showcase for me was a rainforest project that we have done with SAP technology, which really it's amazing. They take old smartphones and they put them up in the rainforest to detect illegal logging before it happens. And so what it does is it records sounds from the forest, because they figured out that when loggers come in, before they even start, the birds stop singing. And they can detect that over the technology, and with predictive analytics, they can help see these events before they happen, and they can prevent logging before it happens. And I thought that was super cool. So with that, Heather, have you seen anything even cooler?
Wow, that's challenging. Well, over in the community area, they have a lot of fun stuff going on over there. So that was really fun to be able to connect with other people, which is a great reason to be here at TechEd. And they had a little photo booth where you can get your picture taken and you can get your headshot. So if you haven't done it, you should really go over there because it's great. And you can go as many times as you want. So if you don't like your first one, you can keep going back. So that was a lot of fun.
And right next to the community space, there's a lot of really cool things happening with the technology as well in the developer garage. We've made a lot of announcements about technology, and we have a bunch of technologies too, and a lot of technology partners. And there's the opportunity to try all of that hands-on, go at your own pace. So if you only have a few minutes in between sessions, I've seen a lot of attendees really enjoy that too. And I personally love doing it too, but I just need to take a little bit of a break listening to all those talks.
Great. So I was not with you yesterday, so I'm going to pull up the coolest thing that I think was from yesterday, which is just the importance that the partner community has to SAP and to TechEd is increasing. So we heard yesterday during the keynote, Vertex, the CEO, was up there speaking. That's really a great ISV partner, which you may not know, as well as they mentioned Deloitte and the Leonardo initiative that they are running. They just signed this partnership with us on SAP Cloud Platform. So that's very exciting for me to see more of our partner community be featured at TechEd.
Cool stuff from the mentors to my right.
Okay, so I think you guys did a good job covering most of the cool stuff. I agree. At the community center, as Heather said, with the headshots, I've gone twice already, and I still don't like it, so I may go tomorrow again. The app space is really cool at the developer garage. So yeah, there are lots of cool stuff. I mean, almost everything here is pretty cool if you just go around and check out everything. Yeah.
Okay, obviously I can't compete with rainforests, but but I did learn something that's new today that's very critical to customers. I got an update on the next generation support model from Andy Cobalt. And anybody that's ever launched or created an incident ticket. Might want to check out the interview that I did on TechEd Live earlier, where he explains now you can actually from the SAP support portal go and schedule a live session with an expert, so an expert chat session. It's not something that you can schedule right now. You have to kind of prepare and get them ready to find the correct expert. But he was saying that this has become so popular that it's solving like 15 to 20% of all the incidents that are being generated. So, and there's just some other information. You can now get SMS text messages for updates. You don't have to wait for an email, and so there's just, yeah, it's not rainforest, but it's to me it's like from a customer standpoint, it's very interesting.
Lots of exciting things. Speaking of exciting, the day one is always really packed with announcements because it's what happens for the keynote. And yesterday in the panel, we were talking a little bit about your reactions to the announcements. And given that we've had a day now where everyone has had a day to digest the messages, I thought it would be interesting also to hear from you what you have heard. You've been talking, you all have different backgrounds, different networks. When you're speaking with people, what are their reactions on the announcement? What are they excited about? Are there any questions? Anything surprising that you're hearing from your network? And to mix it up, I'm going to start in this direction now, just to put you on the spot.
Thank you. Okay, from the announcement, I think like the intelligent enterprise with Leonardo and everything, there's a lot of interest in that and how that can work in the current landscape or for the current roadmap. So I think that's the general feedback that I've gotten from a lot of persons. How do you incorporate the intelligent enterprise in everything? Yeah.
I guess I've had some conversations with some people about machine learning. They're interested in the direction where that's going because you can do so much with that, but we're so at the beginning stage of it, so we're curious on where that's going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to build on what you're saying about machine learning. That's something that intrigued me a lot with the Data Hub, and really diving deeper into that and seeing how it can help solve some of our pains around data governance and master data management. It's very intriguing. So a lot of conversations around that and where that's going and how we could fit that into our landscape as part of the intelligent enterprise, and how that fits into our current tool set. So.
I've heard a lot of excitement around the openness that we're moving forward in with the open connectors and the APIs. A lot of people are really excited about the API economy, and a lot of customers are really excited about moving forward in that space. So a lot of people are really excited about the openness that SAP is really pushing forward.
From a partnership perspective, I fully agree with that. There's a lot of excitement on that, how we're taking the partnership community into consideration when we're developing and releasing our roadmaps, etc. Also important for the partners is how to monetize their innovations, and our new consumption model in the cloud on SAP Cloud Platform is really exciting. It provides a more flexible way to consume our cloud services as well as monetize them, and we're now announcing in relation to TechEd, we have 35 cloud services available in 49 countries, and that list is increasing. We've got a roadmap for the end of the year and next year as well to add more and more, so that's exciting for the partners.
Well, one topic that everyone seems to be talking about is analytics and how to make sense of data. And I was checking out a session with Mike Flanagan, and I interpreted it, or I simplified it down to that analytics is becoming democratic. It's available to more and more people. It used to be that really sophisticated analytics were maybe just given to senior management teams. But what he was saying is that now we have the technology that allows every decision across the company to be data-driven. And I thought it was a powerful statement, because if I look at what I do, not everything I do is data-driven, but it should move in that direction. So I was wondering, from your perspectives, what do you see within the organizations that you work with? Are companies ready to take advantage of this, or is there anything that they have to do to get ready for this opportunity?
I'm trying to figure out the best way to start this, but I don't know if they're quite ready. I mean, just starting with Data Hub, there's a lot of moving pieces in Data Hub that companies going to have to not only they probably don't necessarily have a lot of the basic infrastructure for it, and so they're going to have to build up to it to I can see the value of Data Hub, but I think they're not quite ready. They're not quite there because they're going to have to get all that underlying infrastructure in place. They're going to have to learn about it and then, just figure out how to do all that. Sorry.
Okay, so I agree. The future is definitely driven by data and intelligence that you can get from the data that you have. So in terms of if companies are ready from where I sit, especially in the Caribbean, I would say no as well. They're not ready. So the challenge is it's driven a lot by culture. So persons are not yet adopting to a data culture, being data centric. Persons still, they sort of go off gut feeling or, just sort of figuring things out as they go along and then kind of get the data to support as opposed to allowing the data to drive the transformation or to drive whatever it is that they're trying to do. So I think in terms of moving forward and helping companies to move to an intelligent enterprise, we need to work on the culture shift to push persons to be more data-centric, for them to understand the power of data and having that to drive the process and not just be a supporting sort of thing,
Yeah, that's really interesting because actually that was something that Björn Gerke also said in his presentation. He said innovation is not a point in time situation. It keeps it keeps happening. You have to keep developing. And so he also says that the culture is the foundation. So how do you do that? How do you implement an innovation culture? Does anyone have any thoughts on that? How do you prepare an organization to keep innovating? Because it's a different mindset, and the pace that we're moving is also so much faster.
Okay. All right. I was liking that analytics question. Jeez, Raquel. So, no, well, I think you're right, and where you went with that is exactly where we're at right now, is that in organizations, a lot of companies, is we do have to create the right strategy to help our organizations mature to the level where we need to be in order to change from a data-driven mindset to a story-driven mindset, right? We want to be able to answer our business question, be able to tell this story with our data, and we need to come out of the landscape of looking at numbers in a spreadsheet and be able to tell the story, be able to apply machine learning, be able to go further with predictive, and it is a big culture shift, and I think there's a strategy around that in the same way that you work change management with anything else. There's a marketing campaign that goes with it, there's change management campaign that goes with it, and it's a lot bigger initiative than just implementing a tool. Yeah, there's funding, yeah. People, process, and technology all have to come together, right?
Coming from the Silicon Valley, I think the innovation mindset is something that we are doing pretty well in the Palo Alto office. We're around a lot of bright minds that are really excited, but I think one of the things that's been really influential in that is the collaboration in the Valley. People are really excited about working together. I mean, you can see it here today where we have Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple all here partnering with us. So the innovation forward is not alone. We need to collaborate, we need to work together, and I think that's really going to drive the innovation in companies and moving forward and making sure you have that innovative mindset.
Yeah, I'll echo that again. So from a partnership perspective, we're seeing more and more companies really put technology partnership at the center of their strategy. So fewer and fewer companies are implementing a strategy where they're doing everything by themselves. They really leverage other companies to help in their development and in their creative process and in their innovation. So I think that is what we're going to see more and more of in the future too.
So another thing I heard a lot about today is machine learning. We hear in general, of course, a lot about machine learning, but one of the things that resonated with me is to really help the systems become smarter, especially when we talk about analytics. Sometimes you don't know what to ask for, and you need the systems to be intelligent enough to learn what to serve you with so that you can react and take the right decisions. So how do you see that happening? What scenarios do you see for the future in that area? Maybe start with an analytics expert here.
Yeah, okay, all right, so that's a good one. That's a good question. All right, so for machine learning, in terms of driving that forward in an organization, It's a little bit tricky because, as I said before, with the intelligent enterprise, there's some companies that are just not there yet, and there's some companies that are. So in terms of pushing machine learning, I think the best approach for some companies would be to do it in bite-sized pieces, right? Maybe pick something that you want to solve, pick a particular use case, maybe something that is a pain point in the organization, and then try to apply machine learning to that to solve that problem, as opposed to doing it, try to boil the ocean sort of thing, right? So just pick something very small and then try to solve it with machine learning, with predictive, and then move on from there. I think that it gives you a small point of success, and then you can always build on that in a sort of agile way. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like the same approach to a few years ago, getting companies to move to HANA. So it's like, how do you convince your company or management to fund a project going to HANA? You find a pain point, you find a business process that could really be improved with faster processing.
Heather, anything to add?
Well, I think part of that journey, in order to elevate to telling the story and to the more insightful analytics, as part of that, it exposes a lot of the dirty data that might be caused by lack of training for people. Maybe it's a people problem, maybe it's a process problem causing the data to go into the system wrong, or maybe it's a technology problem. But that's a key area where machine learning can be applied, and where that data science practice can be applied in cleansing the data and in putting those processes in place to enable those more insightful analytics so you get the right answer to your question. So I think that's a good use case that can be applied in a way where we have the knowledge and we can quickly add those kind of processes in.
One of the things I like to highlight with machine learning is we really need to be careful and diligent in the data that we're using and the algorithms and how we're training them. So machine learning is great. It can really help your enterprise. But if you are biased when you're training your models and you're building out your algorithms, you're going to have bias moving forward in your company as well. And I think especially we as women in technology know that the biases are there and in place. So I think it's really important to make sure that you have not only a diverse data set, but a diverse panel of people working as your machine learning experts and as your data scientists to make sure that you, moving forward, are intelligent in every aspect of your machine learning plan.
So I think there's a tremendous opportunity for partners, of course I'm going to say that, with machine learning, because we have the technology, and a lot of our partners in our ecosystem, they have specific niche knowledge on industries. And an example of that is Vertex. I talked yesterday about they're obviously experts in taxation, and leveraging machine learning across taxation functions is going to add a lot of value to what they do into companies that use their solution.
So tomorrow is the last day of TechEd. It's hard to believe it goes so fast. So last chance to recommend something that people really should not miss. What can people not leave Las Vegas without having seen or done? Who wants to go first?
Well, I do think it's important to really take advantage of the show floor and be able to ask questions of the experts that are here. I mean, there's so many people here in the SAP experience area where there's product experts right there to answer your questions. When you come out of a session, you want to know more. I mean, you can get your hands dirty and try out some products. You can talk to partners for questions. There's so many great experts. I wouldn't miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, I'm going to echo what Heather said, and it's really the networking. That's why we come to events like this, is to engage with other people who are working in our space, who are working in our technology, or to learn something new that SAP is doing. So I'd really implore people to make sure that they network, make those connections, whether it's via virtual or in person here on the show floor, and go to those sessions and really try to connect with the speakers as well and try to take some of that information back to their companies.
So I would say, if you haven't already, check out SAP App Center, which is featured over here. We have over 1,000 apps, not necessarily here, but there are some, I mean, when we talk about innovations and cool stuff, there are some really interesting apps that are offered on SAP App Center. So I would recommend everyone, if you haven't already, to go over there.
So what's not to miss?
Yeah. I would recommend the party. I'm kidding. No. Okay, so definitely to underscore what everyone has said, definitely check out the show floor, and if you can possibly visit any last-minute sessions that you may have missed, because a lot of sessions are recurring. So I definitely, go through the agenda, see if there's anything that you can take part of, and also, of course, the show floor. Yeah.
Okay, so no, mine is definitely network. I love coming to these events to get face-to-face and getting to meet new people. But if you ever want to go outside, I'd recommend going to, and you've never been to Vegas before, there's the Bellagio light show in the water and the fountains in it, and they have a beautiful lobby. The ceiling is amazing, and then a beautiful arboretum that has I guess, an excellent tiger themed display.
I'd like to make a recommendation because we have several of them here. When you see people in these blue shirts, Karen doesn't have her blue shirt today. She's another lovely shirt. These are SAP mentors, and on the topic of networking, grab one of them. They have been, they are selected as mentors. They are mentors because they are the best of the best. They know the most, and they are dedicated to helping. So they are the ones. They want the toughest questions. So pick up the most difficult question you can think of, and then you grab one of them in a blue shirt, and you're going to get a brilliant answer. So that's my plug. And with that, I want to thank every one of you again for coming. You are such an amazing group of women, and every time that people say to me, oh, there are too few women in technology, are there women in technology, where are women in technology, I can honestly say they're here with me. So thank you for joining. And tune in again tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we will do a finale party here together. So please come and bring your friends. Thank you.